guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Kaylee. Firstly, I just want to start this video by saying thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. If you're not familiar with how YouTube works, you do need 1,000 subscribers to enroll for monetization. So I obviously couldn't have done it without you guys. So I'm so grateful to all of you for continuously supporting my channel, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to you guys. But anyway, let's jump back to the video. We're going to be testing some new products today. These aren't necessarily new releases. There is some new releases in here, but not all of them. These are just products I haven't really tried, and some I haven't tried for a really long time. So I thought that would be fun to test out these products together. We do have a mix of high-end products and more affordable products as well. So let's get started. I've of course already prepped my skin the same way I always do, just finishing with my sunscreen. I'm not going to use a primer today. I'm really excited to be testing out this foundation. I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I used to use this years ago. Like, I literally haven't used it for maybe, I want to say like maybe 5 to 7 years, like a really long time, but I used to love it. So I want to go back and test it to see my skin, if it still works with my skin. My skin has changed a lot in the past few years, so I am curious to see if it still works for me. But I have it in the shade 1NO, which is Porcelain. I'm sure you've all heard of this foundation. It's so nice, it's long lasting, it smooths, it mattifies, does all the things I love in a foundation. So let's try. I'm just gonna put a little bit. The only thing I've never liked about this is the packaging. They used to have a pump that you could get with it. We don't sell it at Sephora anymore. I'm not sure if it still exists. Maybe Amazon or something has it, but yeah, the only thing I don't like is that you have to pour it out. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit on my palette. From memory, you don't need a lot of this foundation, and I do not want to waste it because it is pricey. And then I'm just gonna blend with my Real Technique sponge. I think the shade is pretty good. I couldn't remember what shade I used to get, but I mean, like I said, my skin has changed a lot in the past few years. I think even like my skin tone has kind of changed. I feel like I used to be more like neutral cool, but now I seem to be more neutral warm. So I'm not sure why, but this is a neutral shade, so I feel like that will work best with me. I just dripped some on my pants. I hate dripping foundation on my clothes. I feel like it's like the hardest thing to remove. Yeah, I stopped using this just because it started becoming a bit too pricey, because I used it as my like everyday foundation, and I felt like it was just getting a little bit too pricey to keep buying all the time. Like, I do wear makeup every day, so I would prefer to have something that is like a little more on the affordable side. So I went to more like, I guess, drugstore foundation. But I received this in gratis, that's why I'm trying it out again. So super happy to have received it, because I was like waiting to buy it myself, but again, it's like $70 now. My favorite thing about this foundation was like how long lasting it is. Like, I would wear it performing and like in the hottest days where I'm like super hot and sweaty, but my makeup would still stay perfectly in place, and it was because of this foundation. So I have always loved it. That's what it's looking like. I feel like can't tell if it's a little bit light, but I'm gonna use bronzer and stuff anyway, so I don't mind if my foundation's a little bit light, but this is what it's looking like. I think that's all I'm gonna go in with today. I think you can, I mean, you know what? We'll just build up the coverage a little bit on my like blemishes here, so we can see how the coverage is. I do believe it's meant to be a buildable full coverage. I think I could be wrong about that, but from memory. All right, that's what it's looking like. Definitely a little bit light, but that's fine. We're gonna bronze it up and make it look a little darker. But for concealer, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Radiant Concealer. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the original Shape Tape. That's my everyday concealer. I've never tried the Radiant one. I don't typically love hydrating radiant concealers. They tend to crease a little more on me, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this, but we'll give it a try. Again, I received it in gratis, so may as well try it out. I have the shade 12N. The shades are the same for the Tarte concealers, so it's easy to mix and match, but I use a 12N in the original one, so I feel like this should work. Looks like a little lighter, but let's see. Okay. I try not to go in with too much concealer under my eyes. The more product you go in with under the eyes, you probably notice I didn't go in with foundation under the eyes. The more product that goes under the eyes, the more you'll get creasing. So if you can, less is always better. I can definitely tell this has more of like a radiant finish. Yeah. And then on my spots, I usually go in with a darker concealer. I actually don't have that concealer in a darker shade, so I'm just gonna go in with the normal Shape Tape. I don't know what happened to this. I really need to wipe it. I'm not sure how that happened, but gonna go, this is, I just have it in medium. I use this on my blemishes. It also matches more when I'm self-tan, so it obviously looks a bit too dark for me right now, but for covering blemishes, it works really nicely, especially like mixing it in with the lighter concealer. It works good. All right, let's blend. They actually also came out with its Shape Tape Creamy. I'm curious about that one. I haven't tried it yet, but like they have so many different types of concealers now. It's like the creaseless, the creamy creaseless, the Shape Tape Radiant, Shape Tape Creamy. There's so many different kinds now, can't keep up. But right, this is how the concealer's looking. I don't mind it actually. It doesn't look too bad, but like I said, the problem I usually have with Radiant concealers is that they crease under my eyes even after like setting them with powder. So I don't know, we'll see. But initially, like straight away, I don't mind it. It looks similar to what my original Shape Tape looks like. So I don't mind it. All right, we're all blended. So next I'm gonna go in with my cream bronzer. So I have another product from Tarte. This is their Sculpt Tape Contour. I feel like these have been around for years, but I've actually just never tried them. I have it in the cool bronze shade. I feel like they're similar to the Charlotte Tilbury ones with this whole little sponge thing on the top. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know. I had a Charlotte Tilbury, one of the like blush products like this, and I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know. We'll see. How do you turn it on? You have to like, yeah. And then I don't know if you like press and it's meant to come out, or if you, yeah. Oh, it just like popped out. Okay, so you kind of just squeeze and press a little bit, I guess. Just, okay. Maybe my Charlotte Tilbury one was just like faulty because I couldn't seem to get any product out. I won't go in with too much because I don't know how pigmented it's gonna be. So far I don't mind the undertone though. We'll start with that, see if we need more. I like bronzer, so I usually go in with a little bit more bronzer. And then I'm just blending with my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. I always use this for my contour and bronzer. Okay, it's not too pigmented. I've been using the LYS bronzer stick. You guys have probably seen me using it on my channel, but it's so pigmented. Like I go in with the tiniest dot and it's like still too much. So super pigmented, but this one I feel like is not, it's not too much. I could probably go in with more if I wanted to. I feel like that's a nice amount of pigment. All right, that's not too bad. I feel like if you like a bit of a lighter bronzer and nothing too crazy, you would really like this. It blends really easy too because it is like a liquid formula, so blends really easily. Enough pigment. I could probably go in with more if I wanted to, but yeah, I like it so far. Okay, then next I'm using a new powder. This one did come out recently. It's from LYS, their Triple Fix Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I have loved everything I've tried from LYS, so hoping I will love this. There's not a lot of setting powders that I love, to be honest. So I'm hoping I will like this because I've not liked anything from the brand so far. So this just comes in one shade. It's just a translucent, so I think it would work for all skin tones. And then I'm just going in with my Real Technique sponge. I usually apply my powder with the same sponge that I use for my foundation and concealer. So also gonna use it to like set my eyelids as well. I don't know what I think of this powder just yet. I don't know, it seems to have set everything good. My under eye is starting to crease a little bit. I'm not sure if that's the concealer or the powder is not like enough, but I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle with this concealer right now. I mean, not concealer, the powder. I also can't tell if it's like giving a bit of a tint to my skin. Let me know what you think. I can't tell. I feel like my lighting's a little bit weird today, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm in the middle with it right now. I do have a little bit of patchiness here right now. I tend to get patchiness in this area depending what products I'm using, so I usually have to play around a little more to see if I can get those areas not to be patchy, but they are a little bit patchy right now. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. All right, next I'm gonna do a little more of the face. So I'm gonna try out the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. This is like similar to their, I guess it's their Buttermelt Blush, which I actually really wanted to try today, but the store was sold out, so wasn't able to pick that up. So I just got the bronzer instead. I have it in number 3 Deserve Butter, I think is the shade. I believe this is like a powder to cream or cream to powder blush, bronzer or something like that. So I'm still just gonna go in with the same brush I usually use for bronzer. It's a Real Techniques brush number 400. Let's go. I haven't used a new bronzer in a while. Oh, it's very pigmented. Oh, wow, I think I went in with too much of that. Definitely pigmented. I like the undertone though. That's nice. Wow, I'm really impressed with the pigment on this. I feel like I've gone in with too much, but that's okay. I usually go in with too much bronzer. Wow, that's so pigmented. Do a little on my nose. And here. Oh my God. Wow, I'm like, it's so pigmented, I can't. Just gonna soften it a little bit with my Real Techniques sponge. I was not expecting it to be so pigmented. I'm curious to try the blushes now. I like a pigmented blush, so I feel like if they're anything like the bronzer, probably really nice. I have heard good things about it, so that's even. I can't tell. My lighting's really weird today. I hope it's not annoying for you guys. I've been trying to play around with different lighting, but I don't know, I'm not loving the lighting today, so hope it's okay for you guys. Let me know. There's the bronzer. Yeah, really impressed with that bronzer. I do really like the undertone. Could have gone in with a little bit less. You do not need a lot of this, I will say that. But yeah, I think it's really nice, blends nicely. I don't have a new blush to use today, so I'll just do the blush combo that I've been doing recently. So this is a Sephora collection blush. It's called Shame on You. I believe it's number 1. I've had this for years. It's literally broken, so might need to get a new one soon. But I mean, there's still a lot of product in it, so I can still use it, but just a little bit broken. But I'm gonna go in with this one. I like to use the same brush that I used for my bronzer, just so it kind of helps the two products, I guess, like merge into each other, if that makes sense. I just like the color that I get with that. And I'm just doing it on the cheeks. I've been enjoying my blush more on the cheeks recently. I have very, like, I feel like a defined like cheek line. So I feel like if I do the higher blush, sometimes it doesn't really work with my face. So I feel like I'm enjoying it more the traditional way. All right, hopefully that is even. And then I've been going on top with one of the Rare Beauty blushes in the shade Hope. I don't like this by itself, but I've really been enjoying it on top of this blush. I think it looks really nice. It's kind of turns out to be almost like a peachy mauvey shade on me, but just a little bit right on the top. And it just adds a really nice glow and a little more pigment as well. By itself, it's not quite enough pigment for me and a little bit too much glow by itself, but on top of a blush, I really, really like it. Yeah, that's enough of that. I'm just gonna quickly do my brows off camera. I've actually been using a new brow product. I've been using the Benefit Precisely My Brow for years, literally like never wanted to try anything new, but I just felt like I was going through it too fast, and it's like, I think over $30, so it's a little bit pricey, and I felt like I was like replacing it every month, which was just becoming too much. So I wanted something that maybe was a bit more affordable. So I've been using the Sephora collection eyebrow pencil. I do also go through this one pretty quick, but it's more affordable. It's only, I think, $19. So more affordable, and I feel like it works just as good for me. So I have it in 2 shades here. I have Nutmeg Brown and Taupe. I feel like Nutmeg Brown is a bit too like orangey for me, a little bit dark, but Taupe is a little bit too light. So I feel like mixing these is perfect for me. I go in with the Nutmeg Brown one first, and then I kind of lighten it up with Taupe. So I'm gonna just quickly do that off camera. I will be right back. All right, the eyebrows are done. So let's move on to eyes. I have a new palette here that I'm wanting to try. It's one of the Morphe small palettes here. They're artistry palettes. Why can I never find the name of this palette? It says Get Rich and Foiled. I forget what the name is because I don't have the box for it. I did get this one in gratis. I don't have the box for the name, but it's this little pink one. There's a yellow one and then there's the pink one. It's the pink one, as you can see. It has really beautiful shades in it. I'm really excited to use it. I was not expecting to like the shades as much as I did. I just had never looked at it. Oh, that's what it's called. It's Rose to Fame. I knew the name was somewhere. Rose to Fame is the palette. But yeah, really pretty shades. I love the shimmers in this. I think they're so beautiful. So we're gonna use that. I also was really wanting to use, I have some new eyeshadow sticks from Wonderskin that they sent me in PR. I was wanting to try these, but I'm also just really excited about using the palette. So I got 4 shades, but the ones I was wanting to try in the stick were, one is called Mink, it's the brown shade, and then I have Champagne, which is like a highlighty sort of shade. I'll do a little swatch for you guys so you can just see what they look like. I don't know, maybe I'll use Champagne for highlight. Might be a bit too golden for a highlight for me. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a goldeny highlight shade, and then Mink is just like a matte brown shade, which I think is really pretty. So maybe I'll use them next time. I was really wanting to try them, but I want to try the palette more, so. But yeah, I think they're really pretty. But anyways, back to the palettes. I'm just gonna go in with this like lighter shade first. I'm gonna do that all over the eyelid just to make sure everything's like set and smooth and even. So I'm just going in with like this flat, fluffy brush, just all over the eyelid. Just kind of make sure everything's like properly set and you have like a smooth base so that the rest of the eyeshadow will apply smoothly. I really like this so far. I mean, I've always loved Morphe palettes, so of course I'm gonna like this palette. I don't have any clean brushes. I might actually have to clean my brushes today. Maybe I'll do that later, but I'm just going in with this fluffy brush, and I think I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do this like brownie sort of shade here. I'm just gonna do that in the crease. My like transition shade. I like that. It's kind of like a pinky brown shade, I guess you could say. It's really pretty as like a transition shade. That's really pretty. Okay, and then let's deepen it up a little bit. I'm gonna go in with this like darker brown. It's called Trust Fund Issues. And then I think I'm actually just gonna use the same brush. No, I'm gonna use a different brush. I have another Real Techniques brush here. Number 203. I'm gonna go in with that one. There's a lot of like kickback with these shadows, so just be careful of that. And I'm applying this like on the outer third. Sorry if you can hear those very loud noises. We have construction just forever happening behind us. There's a lot of new buildings going up where I live, so there's just construction every single day, so I really can't escape it. So yeah, just blending this on the outer third and a little bit inward as well. Pretty. I feel like this is gonna end up being quite a glam look, which I never really do anymore. I'm gonna do that on the other side. Right, then I'm just gonna go back in with that other fluffy brush that I used for the lighter shade, and I'm just gonna kind of blend the 2 shades together. Okay, and then let's go in with a shimmer. Which shimmer do I want to use? They're all so pretty. I don't know, maybe I might kind of do a mix of this one and this one here because they're both really pretty. And I'm just gonna use my finger for that. I like using my finger for shimmer shades. Find that you get more pigment. Ooh. That's really pretty. It's like kind of like a diamondy dust sort of vibe. I like that a lot. Ooh, wow. I hope you guys can see like how shimmery that is. I really like it. And then I'm gonna use a brush to go in with the lighter shade. I'm gonna focus it on the inner third. And then I'm just gonna quickly go under the eyes. So I'm gonna use, I think I'll do that first lighter transition shade first. And then I'll just deepen it up with the darker shade that we used. Just like on the outer corner for that darker one. Now we're gonna go in with a little winged liner. I literally never do like winged eyeliner anymore. If I do, it's like with a brown eyeshadow, but I have a new eyeliner, liquid eyeliner from Haus Labs. This is the new one that came out. If I do go in with liquid liner, I do like it to be like a felt tip pen like this. So I feel like I'm gonna like this, but I'm actually just gonna do this off camera just because I gotta get nice and close to my camera and it'll probably take me a while. So I'll be right back. All right, eyeliner is done. Definitely took me a while. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this pen. I don't know what it is about it. I just found it a little bit difficult to use. I don't know if like the tip is a little bit longer or I don't know, something about it, I found it difficult. I realized too, it's a brush tip, not a felt tip. I do typically prefer the felt tip. I think it's easier to control. Maybe it's like something about this being a brush. I just found it a little bit like harder to control, a little bit flimsy, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that turned out all right. Like I said, I haven't done a wing in a really long time, so hopefully that looks fine. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this wouldn't be something I reach for very often. But anyways, let's finish off the eyes. So I'm gonna do mascara. I'm just gonna quickly curl my lashes. And then I do have a new mascara. This is a new one from Laura Mercier, their Caviar Extravagant Mascara. This one here. Not heard a lot about this, but it is a new one. So let's give it a try. Oh, I like the brush. I kind of like that shape. I'm pretty fussy with my mascaras. There's not a lot that I trust. Especially with like smudging throughout the day and like flaking and all that. So I don't tend to use a lot of new mascaras, but I do seem to receive quite a lot of mascaras in gratis. So I feel like that's a nice way to be able to try it out before committing to purchasing. I do like the brush. I find it quite easy to use. It's kind of like shorter and I like this shape. All right, that is after one coat. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a second before I go in with another coat. Let's finish off with a little bit of highlight. I'm not gonna use that eyeshadow stick for highlight. I think it's a bit too golden for my skin tone. So just gonna go in with my usual highlight here. It's just the Benefit Cookie highlight. I go in, this is like my everyday highlight. I love it. Like the perfect amount of highlights, like still a little bit dramatic, but like can be worn on like an everyday look as well. I love it. All right, let's go in with another coat of mascara. Right, let's go in the bottom. It's okay. I definitely gives good length to the lashes, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go in the bottom. All right, I might do one more coat once that dries, but let's finish off with the lips. So I have two new lip products today. I love a lip liner and lip gloss combo. It's my favorite. I wear it every day. So I have two new products here from Huda Beauty. I have their Lip Contour 2.0 in the shade Honey Beige. And then I have, I think this is a new shade from their Faux Filler lip gloss line. The shade is called She Flirty. Two new products here. I feel like I'm gonna really like this combo, so let's give it a try. I've been wanting to try the Huda Beauty lip liners for a while, so I'm excited to try this. I also like that it's a twist top as well. I love that. So let's go in. Not bad, not bad. Very like glidey, very creamy and smooth. Sometimes I find when like lip liners are super creamy and smooth, they like are almost harder to apply because I feel like I like slip easier. Does anyone else get that? Sometimes I find if they're a little more like dry, I find them easier to apply. I don't know. Let me know if you feel the same. Okay, I don't know how I feel about the color of this. It's a little more like orangey on me than I typically like. Maybe it would look better on like a deeper, little bit of a deeper skin tone. Or maybe like warmer skin. I don't know how I feel, but I like how it feels and applies. It's very creamy and smooth. Feels nice on the lips, easy to apply. So I do like the formula. So maybe if I tried a different shade, I would like that. But let's go on top with this lip gloss. Maybe that'll add a little bit more pinkiness into it. I've used these lip glosses before and I like them, so. That's pretty. Like it didn't like really change the shade of the lip liner much, but nice and glossy, a little bit shimmery. I like that. I think with my NYX lip liner, I'll really like this as well. Okay, then I'm just gonna go in with one last coat of mascara, just on the top. Finish it off with a setting spray. I don't have a new setting spray here, so I'm just going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I've really been loving this lately. Hopefully I let my mascara dry down enough that it's not gonna transfer. There we go. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry. All right, here is the finished look. What do you guys think? I think I like most of the products I used today. The only thing I didn't love, I think, is the liquid eyeliner, but again, I'm not a huge fan of using liquid eyeliner anyways. Just found it a little bit difficult to use, and I found that it went a little patchy on my eyes as well. So not a huge fan of that, but everything else I think I really liked. Like, I think the mascara looks nice. It definitely lengthened, hasn't transferred so far, so we'll see how it is throughout the day. I love the eyeshadow, especially the shimmer that I used on my eyelid. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I would definitely wear that like on a daily basis. Love how the lip liner applies. Again, not sure if I love the shade, but I do really like how it applies, the formula. I think if I used a different shade, I would really like it. The bronzer, both bronzers, I think are really nice. The Tarte one blends beautifully, super smooth, a decent amount of pigment, and the NYX powder bronzer, I love. I think that's beautiful. It's so pigmented, blends beautifully, not patchy. Everything I love in a bronzer, so really, really like that. But yeah, honestly, I think I like most things that I used today. I think the foundation also looks pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think. And I mean, the concealer has creased a tiny bit, but not really much more than what my concealer usually creases. The powder, also not so sure about. So far, I think it's okay. Would it be like my first choice of powder? I'm not really sure, but I'll let you guys know like my final thoughts for everything after I've worn my makeup all day. I'll let you guys know what I think of everything. I'll give it like a rating out of 5 or something like that in my description box. So check that out if you're interested in what my final thoughts are on all these products. But that brings us to the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed trying out some new products with me. Let me know if you decide to try any of these products and what you think. But as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.